What's up, and welcome to Los Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Eslam, aka Rock God of the Sun, accompanied by Dan Papa Sun Killer and Dan Emperor Disco. How's it going, fellas?
What's going on?
It's going. It's going pretty good. Pretty dang good.
We got all our talking done in pre-show. We're not going to talk anymore.
Yeah. If you want to see the pre-show talk, go on Twitch and check out that stream because it does not make it to YouTube.
Yeah.
So go
We
check
went,
it out
we
on
went to
Twitch.
a lot of places.
Twitch
Yeah.
slash.
Twitch.tv/Los Wise Guys. Check it out.
Yeah, there you go. I was trying to say it.
Hello,
But yeah,
Twitch.
today we will be discussing Visions, Star Wars Visions Volume 2. We did Volume 1 last year or the year before. Go check out the video. I'm sure I added a card here at this point. If not, go look for it.
You can
Uh,
find it. You'll find it. It's fine.
yeah, I mean, you know how Los Wise Guys does. But we did. I remember season 1 enjoying a couple of episodes. Not all of them hit for me, but I love the concept. The concept of the whole show as an anthology series. Each episode is between 15 to 20 minutes max. Some
I
even
love
a
that.
little less than 15 minutes. And
I love
then
that they have like different studios for every episode too, so you get to like get immersed in different like artwork and different styles. So that's a nice nuance of this particular show that I really like. Definitely worth.
yes, so that's exactly what I was about to say. I love the different studios that they hire, and this set of studios is different than the previous set of studios. So they're giving new studios a chance to create their own Star Wars story, which is fantastic, because each one is different. It just it's from a different perspective, whether it's about the Jedi or the Sith or about literally
Just people
no,
in that world.
just people. Last season there was a galactic concert, which was pretty cool, like that concept. Like so, uh, I love anthology series,
They're the best.
and this is the perfect world, the perfect universe to tell anthology series because there's just so many planets and so many things happening over the span of tens of thousands of years that you can literally have a story about anything, and this is a chance to tell these stories. And I'm gonna give my 2 cents about this uh, Visions Volume 2 before we get into the spoilers. So this
Can I
is
butt in real quick?
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just a quick question. I know you said this is a perfect world for it, and you're right, it is. But what's another perfect world for an anthology series? It's another one.
Another perfect
Mass-
world for an
Mass
anthology
Effect.
series will be Birthright. Is that what you were talking about, or no?
I'm trying to think of what. Oh no, I wasn't. But
Oh, never mind. then. I
hell,
have no
promote our shit. Hell, fuck yeah, absolutely.
Birthright, which will be coming soon on the Los Wise Guys website, loswiseguys.com. Um, and speaking of loswiseguys.com, go to the website. New content going up every week. Go check us out on our social media. And the most important thing for you to do, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps us immensely grow our channel. So, sorry, Dan, I have no idea what you were talking about, but you can
Avatar.
keep-
The
Oh,
Last
Avatar: The Last
Airbender. That's a
Airbender.
universe I want to see anthology series for. Big time.
Yeah, that would be
Big time.
fantastic.
That
But
would
it'll
be pretty cool.
It'd be perfect for that.
yeah. I think so. That would be another one of the
Yeah.
great universes. And
Also, Disco, fuck yeah, Mass Effect. Yes,
yes,
that's another one.
Mass Effect
Yes,
would be amazing.
easily.
I wasn't sure if you guys heard.
No, I did hear you, but I was like,
I didn't.
I was like, I wanted to say Avatar real quick, but then that's not what we started talking about. So I was like, no, promote our shit. I'll say Avatar. I'll get back to Mass Effect. We'll get there. Don't worry. Covering all the bases.
But yeah, man. So all perfect worlds to do anthology series, but this anthology series is Star Wars Visions Volume 2, and I enjoy the name Visions. It's I think it's
Great name.
fitting. It's
Great name.
very fitting for what it's doing. But what I really liked about this season is one, I enjoyed the artwork more. There was a lot more art styles that I enjoyed more than the first season. And I enjoyed more stories in this volume than the first. I feel like I remember the first I only enjoyed like two or three of the stories, and the another couple of episodes just like I didn't like the animation style or the story they were trying to tell, and then like this one anime one just made no fucking sense. They were fighting in outer space on top of a spaceship, and I was just like, this is fucking stupid. But I feel like this told more Star Wars stories that weren't ridiculous, but very fun at the same time. They were very female protagonist heavy, which is cool because most of the other Star Wars stuff was more male heavy. So we got to see the other side of the Star Wars universe, right? Which was great. Not all of them I enjoyed. There was like two episodes I hated, mainly just because of the art style. But you guys know me. I hate claymation, but we'll get to that soon enough.
No.
But for me,
Uh,
the volume two was I liked it way more than season one. I liked the stories more. The art styles were phenomenal, most of them, and I can't wait for season three. So
to piggyback off you, I kind of totally agree with you. I felt like the stories were just way more compelling this time, and the studios did an excellent job, except for a couple of them. But the ones that did well really did well. I really like was blown away by some of the
yeah.
stories. Like, well, not, oh, I don't want to get me exposed, but overall, just my overall feelings were good, way better on this one. Like the first season, like you said, was like really cool for its creative,
Hmm.
the creativity of the whole idea of the show. It was like it's almost visionary,
Yeah.
and it almost feels like Oracle kind of having premonitions of like different stories in the Star Wars universe, and that's really cool that they call it visions as well. And but this new season, yeah, I found myself really kind of getting immersed. At least in the first half of the season. The last half of the season, I was kind of like, I found I found myself kind of like ADD kicking in, ADHD. I was just like, oh shoot, I missed the whole episode. So I
Well,
had
they're
to
so
watch like
short, so like if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it quick.
I had to go back for a few of them, but overall, the ones that really did shine really shined hard for me. So I really recommend watching the show, even if you're not a Star Wars fan. It's not all like uh, Jedi Sith. It's not. It's there's more depth to it. Like without spoiling it, it's just there's just more depth to it. And
Yeah.
if you have time, just totally check it out.
Sorry, before you go, Dan, I just wanted to say, um, like for season two, actually, never mind. You go, Dan. I think I completely forgot what I was trying to say
All right, sounds good.
because that's my
So
Alzheimer's for you.
that's
So
happens.
It
You know,
happens
once he
quick.
starts that sentence, who knows where it's gonna end? You know,
Eh,
it could go
because
anywhere.
Disco had said something that triggered a thought in my head,
Yeah.
and then like
It's not Jedi Sith. It's a whole thing that they're talking about. That's not it.
I
That's
don't
not it.
fucking remember, bro. It's not coming back. That
That's all
thought
right.
died. It got buried in
Yeah.
an
man,
unmarked
I'm
location.
gonna put it back there on the wall. I'm gonna hang it behind me.
Like that shit ain't being found right now.
Oh man, no. Real quick for mine, it's funny because like it's weird. I've never experienced this where as I was watching them, I was like, yeah, I don't really like much of these. And then like hearing you guys talk about them, and I was like, let me go back and look at the list. Let me just look at it. And I was thinking about, it, I was like, more and more I think about it, I was like, you know what, they weren't that bad.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, they weren't that bad. And then I was comparing it as you guys were talking. I was actually going back and forth comparing season one and season two. I was like, you know what, season two was better.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's actually not that bad. There were a couple in there that I enjoyed. Just like you, art styles. I'm very picky with art styles.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I have no artistic ability. Who the fuck am I to say anything? But still,
I
you
think
know,
we can, as a consumer
yeah,
of that art, I think we can be picky.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
gotcha.
I don't necessarily shit on it. It's just like it's not for me. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't like claymation.
no,
It's
yeah,
not for
same.
me. I've
Yeah,
tried watching many claymation movies, and it's a rigorous and painstaking process to make claymation
hmm
shorts, movies, and whatnot. It's a labor
What
of love, and I
did you like?
respect the artists, but I do not like it.
yeah. That's
You
me
know,
with CG. Like the
Did
like,
you like Nightmare Before
never
Christmas?
watched it.
Oh my
I can't.
gosh.
I can't. I just can't. The
movie's
only
overrated.
the only movie I watched fully that was claymation was James and the Giant Peach.
Oh
and
no.
that
Oh.
because I was very young. It was like a very hot, boring Sunday, like afternoon or something, and there was
Yeah.
nothing else on TV. So
Yeah. No. So I
That was a
enjoyed season
crazy
two.
one.
yeah,
I enjoyed season two. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. There was definitely some stuff I liked. Some I did like where they took some of these stories. There were a few in there that I was like, I didn't care too much for. I also recently bought an elliptical, so
nice
I watched a lot of these while doing the elliptical, and I was looking at it. I was like, I
Peloton.
noticed. No, no,
Okay.
I'm poor. But no, I realized that in this like the time frame I saw like 4 or 5 of them at once, and I noticed the ones that I saw when I started the workout I enjoyed, the ones in the middle I hated, and then towards the end I enjoyed those. So I don't know if it had something to do with the fact that I was like,
The
oh my
workout.
god, thank God I'm not working out at this point, or not too
Yeah.
intense to do a workout, or I'm about to be done. That helped, but yeah,
Hey, remember that thought that I said died and wasn't going to be found?
yeah, you got it.
Well, it's a miracle they
Found it.
found
Say it
it.
quick. Say
Yeah,
it quick.
Get
all
it
right.
out.
So I feel like why the second season was more successful than the first season. I feel like the first season was too out there, and like they were like just do literally
Anything.
whatever. And I feel like in this second season they kind of reined it in just a little bit, just enough so that it could be good Star Wars content, right? Because I feel like that anime one where they were just fighting on spaceships and they had like superpowers and they were powering up and they were fucking
You talking
flying
about
in the
this
speed.
this season two one?
No, season
Season
one.
one,
I don't
that
know that.
first, I think first
Uh,
episode, it was
It's the
all
one.
just
It's the one with like the
animation.
twins. I think
Oh, I
was
Yeah,
never
the.
liked that one. Yeah, that
Oh,
wasn't the first one. That was later on, but that one I didn't
no, it
really
was
like.
season one.
Yeah, that's what I'm
it was
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was like all action. They didn't give any like depth
and I
motivation
feel
as to
like
why. It was just like, ooh, wow,
and I feel like
lightsabers. Oh
that
my god.
wasn't grounded in the Star Wars universe. So I feel like they're like you can do whatever story, but it needs to be grounded in this universe. And I think that did a lot better in
Mhm.
season two. So yeah, that was the thought I wanted to get
There
out.
was more like personality in all the characters as
Yes.
well. Like they're more humanity and like you
Agreed.
could relate to them. It's not just like people fighting. It's
No.
not animation for the sake of animation. It's an
Yeah.
actual compelling story work here, right? Props to the writers, kind of like Eslam said, honing in and creating a product that can, entertain people for a good half hour, depending, because it is a fun watch, and even if you don't like them, you can easily just skip to the next one, or you know.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go through episode by episode real quick and just say which ones we enjoyed, which ones we didn't enjoy, and why not. And I think that'll be like a quick,
Yeah,
good
absolutely.
review for these,
Can
because I feel
can
like
I
they deserve
can I
their
ask
due.
can I ask which one are your favorites first, or do you
Well,
want to just?
I'll
I
when
think
we're
we'll say it
going
when we're
through them.
going through
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say which one is my
Hmm.
favorite when we're going through them. Because you know me, I'm not gonna remember the name exactly, and I'll remember it when we go through. So, first episode of Visions season two is called Sith by Studio El Guri. Um, First of all, the art style in this episode, and I feel like they did the same thing with season one, which they start out with a banger.
Mm.
And the art style for season one was like Kurosawa style, like ancient, not ancient, like old school Japanese
Mhm.
samurai. It was black and white. It was phenomenal. This one, it was very, very artistic. It was about painting, right? She was like trying to figure out the painting or whatever, and I don't know, there was just something about this art style that was really interesting. Also, the cis with like these things coming out kind of reminds me of like Dreads and kind of like I feel like he gives me Coolio vibes. I don't know if anybody else gets that, but I
Never
really
change. That's like,
I really enjoyed the hell out of this
I,
episode. It was really fucking cool. The art style was just so good. The story was also nice because she was a Sith apprentice and this was her master, and he came back and she was like, I'm not a Sith anymore. They fight. She During the fight it kind of clicks in her mind with like the force and how to, like, I guess put the painting that she was trying to put together, or maybe it was like a symbolism of the force of her connecting with the, or balance with the force, or
she
like the
didn't want
light
to
side of the
accept her
force.
darkness. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then once that happens, she activated her second part of the lightsaber and completely destroyed that guy. And then he's like, "You're the master now." And then she leaves the planet, and she's like, "Well, he was right about one thing. I'm the master now, and I'm gonna, you know, do my own path." And I thought that was fantastic. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really like the idea of her being a former Sith. You know,
Yeah,
usually you meet a Sith and they're just so deep in the darkness. It's like they're lost to it. And she was just kind of like, you know what, this ain't for me. And me being like a creative type, I love art, all types of art. So I kind of like really. This is actually probably my favorite episode.
yeah,
I got attached to her, especially the idea of using the whole room as paint, like an art
yeah,
canvas almost. And then when she first kind of like paused all the pain in the air, I was like, oh,
yeah,
she's a force user. That kind of like really drew my interest, piqued me a little more. And then how she could like pause it and kind of manipulate it, and then she like continues to splash, and uh, and I thought it was really cool how they built that episode up. And then at
yeah.
the end, the lightsabers like are really cool. It looked like he had a broadsword lightsaber, and I personally have never seen that. Granted, I have never seen like the all the other like animation shows.
Mhm.
So I've never seen that before, and I was really like that. That blew me away, and especially she kind of had like a katana lightsaber too. I like the way they
Had
depicted
that slight
these,
curve. Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then she pulled out the second one, and I was like, it really hit hard, it really hit home
yeah.
for me. I was like, oh damn, she just went off. Like that was really cool animation there, and the tension and the build up and the release, and then at the end she finally got the resolve. Like she's like, oh, I do have darkness in me. You know, I can't run away from that anymore. It's like I am a embodiment of light and dark, and this is who I am.
And
And I like that she
that's a
had a
theme that
yellow.
reoccurred later on in the season.
Yeah, and I like the yellow saber. I don't know if I've seen that either. Granted, I'm not like super heavy into Star Wars like y'all, but that those sabers really
It's been
like blew
shown
my
before,
mind.
yeah.
It's been
Okay.
shown. It's not that common, but it's been
No.
shown a few times here and there.
I mean, Ray had a
Mm,
yellow saber
At the end of
the last
I
no.
see.
no,
I see.
no, Rise of Skywalker.
Yes, there you go.
Well,
Yeah.
she did it better. I'm gonna say that.
No, she did
But
do it better.
it was a really solid, it's a really solid like 20-minute episode. Through and through. It was, yeah, like Eslam said, they started with a banger.
Yeah, no. So I wasn't the biggest fan of this episode. Art, I don't like art. But it wasn't bad. It's not that I hated it. It was still very good. I would put this over most of what I saw during season one.
Yeah.
Like you guys were saying, I thought she was an interesting character. I like the droid. They brought the droid in there, and of
Oh, the
course
droid was
she
cool, yeah.
has of course she has a fake hand because Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it was cool. But I mean, then you have this guy come in, and then that's something like you said reminded you of Coolio. He was trying to bring her back.
Does he though? I don't know, like those things kind of like seem
No,
like these weird dreads to
no.
me, like.
Have
Tell
you
you what,
seen Coolio?
Yeah, yeah, I have.
the way I see it, Eslam, I think what you're trying to say is like he was trying to bring it back to the Sith so he could be together like Siegfried and Roy or Abin and Costello and Magic and Kareem or Penn and Teller, and then all of a sudden, somebody's in trouble and all here it
Shaq and
goes.
Kobe.
Yeah, no, I was just quoting the Keenan and Kel theme song made famous by Coolio, but
Oh.
no, yeah, it was an interesting episode. It was all right. Really gonna
Tell
quote
me
the
that's
picture of
not your
Coolio.
Sith right there, bro.
No, it's not even a little bit.
Come
Like
on,
easily, I
son.
don't have to. I
Come
don't
on, bro.
for an episode
Just
called
a
Star
little.
Wars Visions. Like I knew you were blind, but goddamn,
Okay.
Islam,
Just just a
I
little.
I mean, if you want to
No.
specify the hair, then I'll accept. But look at
Yes.
Coolio's face and look at the
Well,
other guy's face.
obviously it's not the face that
not
I
even the
I
hair.
mentioned
Like
that
not even
twice,
the
like those
hair.
little dread thingies.
He
Come
got a
on,
little
man.
pigtail.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
Yeah,
Those
wow,
look like
bro.
little baby antlers.
um,
R.I.P. Coolio. Thank you.
R.I.P. All right, well, all right, let's move on.
This man looked at that picture, looked at this, and said it was the same thing. My God.
I said the hair. God damn it. All right, season 2, episode 2, Screecher's Reach. Um, so these kids are on like this planet that they're just mining. They're kind of like they're workers, they're slaves, I guess, and they go to this area called Screecher's Reach, and it's pretty much this cave where you hear this ominous screech, and through the episode you find out it's a Sith, and you get this girl is being told by this like almost like amulet to like go there. You find out later on in the episode, and then she beats the Sith, uses some Force abilities, and then she escapes. And then this ship comes, and then it's this woman, and this large alien woman like is like, all right, you've listened to me, whatever, and like you have the Force, so like come with me, I'll take you away and you can train and whatnot. But who do you think she was though? Like, do you think she was like one of the OG like actual like
Like
Sith?
Siths.
Yeah,
I like
or is
that
it?
ship she had though. I've never seen one like that in Star Wars. That like it was a nice, almost
Yeah,
angelic, like light,
yeah.
like the lighting effect it had was almost angelic. It was yeah.
And it's like you almost think she's like a light side user of the Force, but she could be a Sith also.
Well, that's the thing that they leave it up
The
to
saber was
Yeah.
speculation. You
red,
don't really
so
know. It was a red saber, yeah, but I mean that doesn't necessarily mean like
Well, her saber was she didn't take out a saber, did
she
she?
didn't take out a
no, no,
saber,
no, no.
No.
The
but the
witch's
saber that
saber was
was
red.
Well,
yeah.
the
So
witch,
I'm
yeah, she was a
assuming.
Sith. Yeah.
I guess it could go either way.
But I'm
Maybe.
saying at the very end she could have
But
been
would a
yeah.
Jedi really tell a random kid to go into the witch's den, almost quote unquote? It almost
Yeah, Jedi's
she
are
was pretty much
stupid.
a witch.
Yeah.
Huh?
But I feel like a Jedi, it would go against their like moral code to put a kid in danger.
I don't know.
Well,
They
they
recruit
test
them
their
as
youngling,
babies.
yeah. They test them, and they can die during the tests.
Yeah, they're like,
It
"Hey,
has
you're a
happened
Okay.
before.
baby. You're like 2 years old. I'm gonna take you away from your family. You might not make it, and you
Yeah,
can't speak to your family ever again."
you have to cut all connections.
So I
I
don't know,
guess
but
I don't know. It's I
I
mean that's what's fun about these episodes. That
Yeah,
you get to
exactly. They
exactly.
leave
they
them
get you
open
really
ended.
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. But I enjoyed this one for the most part. Made by Cartoon Saloon. I don't know if you said that, but
No, I did.
I thought it was an interesting. I thought it was an interesting concept. Like she was out there, she was as she was walking through the valley of shadow and death. She took a look at her life and realized there was nothing left, and it was just
I mean,
really.
it's really it is the
Yeah, I know,
episode.
I know.
See, I mean, Coolio's in this season, bro. Like his spirit lives on. His hair was in the first episode. His lyrics was the second episode. I mean,
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do any more Coolio references. That two's enough.
I mean,
But
please, if you see it, just do it again.
if I
That'd be
if I
fucking
could
great.
relate Coolio to the entire Visions two season 2 of Star Wars, that'd be incredible. But no, seriously, in all seriousness, I did enjoy this episode. I did like where she wanted a better life, and
Yeah.
who's to say that a Sith life isn't a better life than what she was dealing with because
Sure.
there's so much corruption and stuff in the Star Wars universe where it opens up your eyes to the overall galaxy.
Hmm.
So,
Anything's better than where she was.
exactly, because we always think of it as Jedi good, Sith bad, but I mean, there could be worse. There could be a
Yeah,
worse experience, So, and it
one
was
hundred
cool.
percent.
It was cool.
Between a
I
rock and a
did
hard place.
I did like this episode, but it's not on the top of my list.
Hmm.
So
It's on the low
I
side.
agree.
It's
I agree with
actually
you.
it's in the
Yeah.
middle.
This one's upper for me. Upper,
No,
maybe not
this
the top,
one's
but it's up
like
there.
maybe top third, top
Yeah,
three ish.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Which was cool.
All right. Episode 3, In the Stars, by Studio Punk Robot. This was interesting. It was an interesting use of the Force and the like those cave drawings and how it relates to their ancestors that have died and stuff. And part was cool. For me, I hated the little girl. She was annoying as fuck.
Oh my
Um,
god, me too.
and then like the animation style I did not enjoy, but I mean visually like it's very clean and stuff, but I don't like the style. And the story, like I did like that aspect of the story, but she was just very fucking annoying. I couldn't. It's like Lilo and Stitch, but
It was
very
too.
fucking annoying.
It was
It's like
too
Lilo and her
much.
older sister. Yeah.
Never saw it. No.
Yeah.
I
I
wasn't the biggest fan of this.
Yeah, this is low on my list.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
pretty
feel like
low.
I was already like I was already a decent amount of time into the elliptical at this point. I was like, I just wasn't having it, and
I
yeah, it just wasn't,
she
and it was predictable. Like at the end, it was just like obviously I was like, okay, the older sister's gonna they're gonna do a big reveal. She has the Force,
No.
and I was just like, eh.
Well, they both have it,
Yeah.
so
Well, I know, but
yeah,
it's like at the whole point, I was like, either the older sister's gonna have it or they're both gonna have it. But I was like,
yeah,
she for sure fucking has it.
yeah.
No, they're not gonna fool me.
She just doesn't listen. I think that's what really bothers me. It's
Yeah,
like, stay here. 2 seconds later, she's caught. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
it's just
Like,
like,
yeah.
and then she's like, "I
get it. To,
told you I can beat him." Like, shut up, fuck
like,
He
you
you.
almost
didn't
died
do
because of you.
anything. You almost. I was thinking like she was gonna get her sister killed or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
But
so
it was
goddamn
kind of
annoying.
wholesome at the end where they came together and
Yeah.
the older sister realized like, oh, I have power. Like, I can.
Yeah.
She saved her sister too, like from a fall.
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Literally, she did nothing the whole episode, and it was the older sister that did, and then she takes
Yeah.
credit. Like, you
yeah.
And
suck.
fucked up fact. At
Yeah,
the end of the day, that planet's still gonna be a barren wasteland.
yeah. Barren
It's just
Wasteland. They're
them.
the only two left, I guess, of their species,
No,
or in that area, whatever.
no, it's like
So,
yeah, you couldn't do enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. Not the
Eh,
greatest of episode, low on the list, but
I mean, yeah,
shout
I
outs
mean,
to
shout
Punk
out to them
Robot.
making it. They did the story, and I appreciate it.
All right, next up, Visions, season 2, episode 4. I am your mother.
Great title.
Hated this fucking episode. Oh my god.
Yeah.
this
Claymation is just like it was very. I did not give a fuck about like the speed racers bullshit,
Mhm.
and like both of their voices were annoying. The story wasn't like this is literally like number 0 on my list. Like this is last place. This is number 9 on my list. Like it's just like why?
this one felt like a Disney movie. Like, I felt like I was watching like a children's Disney animated movie. Granted, it is Disney. Now that I'm saying it,
And
yeah.
it is a
um,
children's animated movie.
Sure.
it's just, but this one, like the first couple episodes, didn't really like feel
Yeah.
like it. But this one, I felt like I was like in a kids' theater with like, I don't know, just the message whole. Granted, we're grown men, so the message really wasn't for us. So maybe that's totally the reason why. But this one didn't land. This one did not land. The mother was that unique, goofy, kind of quirky mom, and the daughter is just totally embarrassed, didn't want nothing to do with her. And then finally, the mother shows up to a race, and they win the race working together, and they kind of have a new appreciation for each other, and that was pretty
I
much
don't know.
it.
I guess it was just like such a basic story that we've seen so much, especially in Disney Channel. Like you got the mean rich chick and her mom, and they have everything, and then you have these people that are poor, but they love each other, and like the power of love. Like fuck you. Like I'm like why?
Yeah.
Like stop.
With that being said, I didn't hate it. It's not on the last on my list like you guys. It wasn't the best. I really
This is
enjoyed the
number 10 on my
callbacks.
list.
Yeah, of 9.
Yeah.
I re- I really enjoyed the Wedge Antilles callbacks throughout the episode. I was like, hey, look, they're giving Wedge some credit, and he's supposed to be like, look at me, I'm Wedge, be like me, which is cool because like nobody gives a shit about Wedge. The man fucking saved the universe in like 2 to 3 separate movies when you think about it, and this man gets no credit. It's like, oh, Luke. I was like, no, he's the fucking one who ended the Death Star thing
hmm
in fucking episode 6. And he was there at the end of the fucking last movie in Rise of the Skywalker. And he was there during the first fucking Battle of Yavin in episode 4. Like, this man did everything. He just wants some credit. He just wants some credit. I put this one a little bit higher because they fucking tried to
put
give
him
Wed
in
some
the
credit.
episode.
He
Then
was in
put
the
him
episode. He was in the episode.
Oh well, that shit sucked either way. But oh well. All right,
Like, he was
episode-
in there multiple times. They're like, hey, buy the new Wedge Antilles. Look, this race is sponsored by Wedge Antilles. Like, he was there the whole time.
Oh,
Or
okay.
Antilles, however you say it.
Yeah, well, that didn't save the episode. All right, episode 5 of Vision season 2, Journey to the Dark Head. This is another one of my favorite episodes, and this one has a similar theme of balance and accepting your dark side as the first episode.
Mhm.
Uh, we start out with this young lady at this uh, temple where it rains, and then the rocks show visions, and then they read the visions, they record the visions, and they catalog the visions, but they don't like tell anybody about them. And in her mind, as a young child, it was black and white. There was light and dark. And she's like, "Why can't we just like cut off the statue with the dark side of the force, and that'll make everything better?" Right? That's such like a child point of view. Um, then I guess she leaves the temple because it time jumps, and then she's in front of the Jedi council. She tells them, "Hey, we need to go. This kid is doing some training session in the Force, and he is trying to avenge his master's death, and he's like filled with hatred and fear." And the Jedi Council sends him because she's like, at least the head of the council, she's like, this is going to be good for him. They both go to this mission to cut off the head of the dark side. And during while they're going, this kid's the guy, the Sith who killed his master, shows up. They are fighting, and she's trying to blow up the head. When she gets up there, she finally breaks through the clouds and gets to the head. It's not so black and white. The dark side and the light side of the Force is present in both statues, and they're exchanging Force energies. And when the kid sees this, it kind of clicks in his head that he has to accept his dark side and not be afraid of it, so he can move on and acknowledge that it's there, but not let it take over. And then he's able to beat this Sith. Um, so I thought it was a very interesting um, episode. It was very well done in a short amount of time. It told a lot of story, and the animation style was great. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a lot with this little like 20-minute episode. Like it was almost two stories, like the Vision Rock kid and then they met and
Yeah,
unified and then it just progressed and got even better. Like I really enjoyed the action. I really enjoyed just the whole premise of it all and the balance. Balance is so important,
yeah,
especially like in yoga and like Tai Chi and just in life. So it really is a really cool message that kind of expands beyond Sith and Jedi and Force. It's
yeah.
like
Well,
a
it's the whole concept of yin and yang, right? One can't exist without the other.
yep. So
Um,
great execution on this one as well. I like the Vision Rocks. I want some.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and just typical WG fashion. This one was okay. Um, I enjoyed it, but literally what you guys said about the last one, I was just like, Eslam, you said it best. Oh, I already know the concept of yin and yang. We all do. I already
yeah.
know you have to have light in order to have dark. You have to have dark in order to have light. It was cool. I thought the animation was cool. The fighting was cool. But I was just like, I've seen this so many times. Like, I get it. Thank you. You need to have one to have the other. Appreciate that. Let's move on to the next one. Like, I don't know. It's like I enjoyed it for what it was, but I
Well,
was just like, I don't know.
the other cool thing about this episode is it reminded me of something, especially
Was
that
it
old
Coolio?
man.
How does Coolio fit in?
Yeah.
um,
She's got the little things hanging from her hat, just like
yeah,
Coolio does.
just like
Just like
Coolio.
Coolio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got the
Um,
baby antlers.
uh, the old man in the beginning who was writing down the the prophecies
Yeah.
and was like kind of just
Don't look up.
yeah. He reminded me of this episode from Star Wars Clone Wars.
Mm.
And like the whole thing reminded me of this. And
Yeah.
when Obi-Wan and Anakin got pulled onto the Force planet, and you have the father of the Force, and then you have his children, the light side of the Force, which is the daughter, and the dark side of the Force, which is the son. And he's the one that kept him in balance.
Mm.
And he was dying, so he brought Anakin there because he was the only other person strong enough that would be able to
No.
control these two and keep them in balance.
You have enough mitochondria. Come here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mitochondria. Oh, I love it. So this episode reminded me greatly of that and the dark heads,
Mhm.
instead of it being so cut and dry in this where there is an embodiment of dark and an embodiment of light. Here, these statues embodied both, and they kept each other in balance. But it was just like a great concept that I feel like they brought back, especially
Mhm.
from like this. And the old man kind of reminded me of this guy,
They
the
did kind of
father.
look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the hat.
So yeah, yeah, exactly. So I wonder if they were paying homage to that. But no, it was a great episode. I enjoyed it very much. Um, all right, episode 6, the spy dancer.
Can I go first? I just don't want it to make it sound like I'm saying the opposite of you guys, so I want to
Yeah.
go first.
Okay, go
I really like this episode. I thought it was
go.
entertaining.
Yeah.
I like the concept. We got to deal more with like
The
kind of like behind
rebels.
the scenes.
Yeah.
Yes, that time period is the best time period in Star Wars. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So it's just like you got to see that, you got to see some rebel stuff, and then you got to see it's like okay, there's flashback out of nowhere. Her son was taken away, and now this is her son, or she believes it is. Turns out it is, and it was a whole cool thing. And they were trying to do like this artistic performance to lure in
Yeah.
the Empire. And I thought it was a cool concept. I liked seeing stuff like this. Like Disco said too earlier, not everything has to be
Yeah.
Jedi and lightsabers and this, that, and the other. We got to see the other side of it, which I do appreciate, and I do get to see. I do like seeing that a little bit.
I have to say this is like my number one favorite episode.
Me too.
Followed by Sith episode one, and then number three, episode five that we just talked about. Um, this was just visually stunning. I love the animation. I always love hand drawn animation like
Yep.
this. Her dancing with the in like the sky and with the ribbons and
Mm,
stuff, and she
really
was
cool.
like Batmaning like the shit out of those. The
The spy, the
the
mics,
fuck the
Oh,
the little
those weren't
microphone thing.
not
well, they weren't
microphones,
Coin.
but
microphones.
the
They were
trackers.
Thank you.
the
Yeah.
Hmm.
the trackers, and she was just like fucking throwing them and they were clipping on, and I don't know, it was very amazing. And then she had the fucking Assassin's Creed blade and she was about to fucking kill this guy, and then she realizes, it's not the same old man, but he's wearing his clothes and stuff, and she makes the connection, this you're my son. And at the end you notice when he takes off the hat that they cut his horns, like the
Hmm.
his horn, those little horns aren't there anymore.
And the eye.
And either they took it out or he's just covering it.
No,
Um,
didn't he take it off and reveal that it was the
oh,
same?
they did.
Like,
I
yeah,
don't
because she has
remember.
two different color eyes.
Yes, yes, that's the species. But yeah, no, it was just visually, it was amazing. The story was fantastic, executed phenomenally. Shout out to Studio. Um, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Damn.
Studio La Cachetio Mir.
Yeah, there you go.
I just took a shot. I don't know.
Shout outs to you guys, and love this episode. My favorite episode of the season.
Yeah, honestly, I guess this is the first episode we all agree on because I really like the espionage feel,
Mhm.
the tension of trying to hide something so important, and like just I don't know. I feel like that weight would weigh on me, but she like is just so cool, calm nerved, and the daughter's just kind of like everywhere, and but
I
she
don't think that
just
was her daughter, no. That was
No,
no.
different
that was just
species.
like somebody that worked there.
Yeah.
Oh well, well, she was still
She was
just
cool too.
impressive.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
she was
yeah.
awesome.
But everything, just the way it all came together, the twists and turns, like with the sun, like you guys said, pretty much, it was just visually stunning, and the storytelling was well done. And this was another solid 20 minutes too. I would
Yep.
watch this one again just
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
for the
Good
heck of it.
episode. Really cool, Leo.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Episode 7, The Bandits of Golak. Studio 88 Pictures. Um I really enjoyed this one. It had like an Indian vibe to it. Especially the young girl annoyed the shit out of me too.
Hmm.
Because they just don't fucking listen,
Just
man. It's like
listen. Just
like
listen.
literally he told you not like leave the fucking flute, and then she uses the force out in the open like hee
Yeah.
hee hee
Not even to
like
get the flute. Like, not just that you're playing the flute. You fucking use the force to get it on top of that.
like
Like, come
come on,
on.
man. Like that annoyed the shit out of me. But like the Inquisitor was cool. The Jedi was cool. Like
She's
I
badass.
enjoyed the story very much. But the girl annoyed the fuck out of me. She was annoying.
I I didn't really like it because of that. She just kind of ruined it for me. She just very reminiscent to the other episode. Just
Yeah.
like, especially how he's like, okay, we gotta lay low. And what does she do? She's like, check this out, bro. Like, hey, it's like,
Like
come on,
literally in
put
front
it.
of everybody, like not even like
Right.
trying to hide it on the down low, like
Uh,
right before he gets up she snatches it. Like no, he's like like he's in front of other people, and then she pulls that shit, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just like zero awareness, just zero. Just I don't like characters like that. Like
Yeah.
just too far on one end of the spectrum. Just
Yeah.
like come on, man. Like bring it back. Like we need a little balance. And like you said, I did like the one dude that showed up and lifted all the food platters, and then it kind
Well,
of
that was
escalated
the
from there.
Jedi lady.
Oh, it was her. I thought it was him.
No, no, it was her.
Those are
Ah, okay. Damn, I gotta rewatch these then. I missed a lot then. But I thought it was pretty
Well,
cool
you
though. The
think
animation,
it's
the concept.
him until she reveals herself as the Jedi, and you're like, oh, because she drops it on him, and
yeah.
like,
Mm.
why would he drop it on his own head?
It's
Um,
it's a delusion. But what's called? I really like this one.
yeah,
Yeah, the girl's annoying. It didn't take me out of it. I mean, the way I look at it, it's just like she had to do that so we could get what's coming next in the story. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So it's like I didn't mind it too much. I really like the Inquisitor. I really like the Jedi.
yeah,
Art style, I've already said numerous times. I can't stand like Eslov. Your thing is claymation. Mine
yeah,
is this. It's
yeah,
CG.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I fucking hate CG. I would have preferred a very different art style. But other than that, I really did enjoy this one. This one's up there. This one might be like number two for me, to be honest.
This is my number four. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is on the bottom of my list. On the lower end. Lower end.
um,
Mm.
Actually, never mind. That's not my number four. The Pit, episode 8, by something on Lucasfilm
Dart
Ltd.
Tagio.
Yeah.
Lucasfilm.
So we get the story of these prisoners who are asked to dig, and they're just finding kyber crystals, and they're taking these kyber crystals and using them for generating power. And they built this whole city, and these people dig literally to the bedrock where they can't dig anymore. And they're like, all right, they reached the bottom, and they literally just shut everything down and leave them
Just
in
pack
the
up and go.
bottom. Yeah, and they just leave them to die in the bottom, and then you have the one of the main characters here who climbs out and runs to the city and like brings awareness to the people who didn't know, and then he gets taken by the stormtroopers and he's literally thrown into the pit, and he dies. And the people kind of show up and they outnumber the troopers, so the troopers just leave. And you think the people see what's happening, and they kind of just start leaving, and you think you're like, oh shit, that's fucked up, they're just gonna let them. And then like they just bring ships and they come down, they take them all out, and
Mm.
the episode ends with the little girl holding a kyber crystal. And then you see like that she's a force user.
Mhm.
But this is another really interesting episode. No Jedi, no nothing. It's just a story about prisoners, and how they were used and the impact that they had. And it was a really cool story. I enjoyed it, and I love the animation as well. I would say this is my number four, and then the Bandits of Golak is my number five.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I really like this one. I feel like I don't know if it's what they were trying to do. I don't know if it was trying to be like a racial thing where it's like slave labor or stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I mean, that very well could have been what they were trying to say. I thought it was cool. And then you have the whole at the end. What was it they were shouting in the hole? Was it follow the light or look towards the
Yeah.
light? Something like that.
Follow the
Follow the
light.
light.
Yeah, I think.
Follow the light. I thought it was a really cool concept. I thought it was interesting. It reminded me a lot of Dark Knight Returns or Dark Knight
Yeah,
Rises.
yeah, yeah,
The whole time I just kept thinking there was like fishy, fishy, pasta, pasta. But yeah, no. And then I did like the after the credit scene where they had like the spray paint thing that was going
Yes.
on. I was like, that was pretty cool. Like where
Yeah.
it was kind of like, and I feel like that also added to like the culture. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, so I thought it was a really cool episode, a really cool concept. And one of those once again, simple story, not necessarily Jedi Sith,
Yep.
just out here just telling a story in this galaxy.
In the Empire.
For me, this one landed flat with me. I had to watch this one like 4 times. I couldn't finish it. I just kept getting distracted, and I could not. I don't know. And then I would come back because I would be listening to them be like, "Follow the light, follow the light." I'm like, "What's happening?" And it's like,
This goes
I
looking for it. I don't know where it is.
Where's the light? I can't find it.
I can't find it. No, I didn't find it because I just didn't like this one. It didn't. maybe I don't have all that Star Wars knowledge. Maybe that's why I don't know. But it
I
just
don't think there's
didn't
really any
really.
Star Wars anything in this, to be
I
honest.
don't know. It just didn't land for me at all. Like I, I don't know.
Hey man, it just hits different.
Hey.
Yeah, yeah.
And then last episode is episode 9, Our Song, and by Studio Tigerfish.
Triggerfish.
Oh, Triggerfish, shit.
It's all good.
Dyslexia.
Yeah.
Um, this was an interesting story. These people were mining red kyber crystal, which doesn't make sense to me because if I remember correctly, red kyber crystals are synthetic.
Yep, they're not. Yeah, exactly.
So and then they're mining these naturally red kyber crystals, which
Which
apparently
it's
is
it's
in.
okay to me, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's like fine.
nah, I don't
Is.
know. I mean, that's one thing, right? Red kyber crystals are synthetic, and then they're mining these red kyber crystals, which always means Sith, and then they're kind of purifying them, removing the darkness from them or whatnot to bring them back to the light, which doesn't make sense to me. Um, and then this girl is, I guess, very strong with the Force, and her song kind of purifies the whole fucking mind. Um, and then she goes away with this Jedi. But like, I could not get over this goddamn
There's always a thing
animation.
that that gets to Eslam.
The
Like
one.
it just sticks with them.
Like,
It's
look
like
at this
no,
fucking
fuck
animation,
this
bro. They're
one
like,
thing
I
in particular. I hate everything because of it.
I was just gonna say the animation wasn't it for me, but I did kind of like the story. Granted, I'm more into music, so I was like, oh, okay, I kind of like that. And
and
also,
he's a
I believe
seal. Like, I mean,
the working with high frequency like sound
yeah.
waves. I think that the idea of that is pretty cool. And I've watched some videos on that, like ultrasound type technology, and it's kind of cool. They kind of made that her medium for refining all these kyber crystals,
Hmm.
and
I mean, it
I
makes
thought that
sense because
concept was
like
cool.
everything. I mean, in our world, everything has a vibration and frequency,
Yep.
and it's if you can tap into that, you can. That's why Vibe was so strong. Shout outs to DC. If you know what I'm talking about. But
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just I could again the animation style I could not get over. And then the story didn't make sense to me. Like, why are you trying to make these synthetic kyber crystals like natural kyber crystals? Like, you fucked up. So,
Disco, did you know about that synthetic thing at all?
I did
Did
not.
that matter at all in this story?
hey man, I'm a fucking Star Wars nerd, and
I
Like
I
I
just
know,
mean,
I
wanted.
know it too. Like I'm be honest, I no, I didn't like this episode. So I mean, I'm not really defending it for that. I thought it was boring. But that's really why I didn't like it. I was just bored by it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's like I thought the same thing. I was like, that's weird. Like, in my mind, I was trying to make it right. I was like, maybe Sith people just fucking stashed it here. But I was like, no,
Yeah.
but they're mining it. Like I
Yeah.
don't fucking know. It's like it
I
doesn't make
I
sense.
think
But I was like, it is what it is. Whatever.
I think if I was heavier into Star Wars, I would be more upset. But I didn't even know going in, so I was just like, oh,
Like I knew
okay,
it. Like that didn't. Like
red
I didn't like
crystals,
it, but not because of that. I was just like, I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it.
because of
Yeah.
everything else.
But yeah, so this is like number 8 for me. So the two claymation episodes are all
Yeah,
the
I
way at
think
the
this one
bottom.
is last for me.
The other one is last because just the girl was more annoying. At least this one was
This one
not as
was
annoying.
as annoying too. Like this was doing the same shit. She was out
Yeah,
there.
not
She should
as
be out there
annoying though.
doing
She
shit.
wasn't as annoying. So, and then
I feel
yeah,
Her hair is
I
more
feel
like
like
Julio than anybody else.
somebody. I feel like someone in charge of studio should have caught that and be like, "Oh, they can't be res." Like, I don't know.
well then
I
that
really,
defeats
I
the
guess
Defeats
they
purpose
the
of the whole
really,
purpose.
episode.
I think it
I
really
guess
wasn't that big a
they,
deal.
I guess they
I
really
think it
do
is the
give
big deal
free
because
reign.
it literally the whole episode revolves around her being able to purify these crystals that are red.
What if they come out with a new season of Clone Wars and they reveal that not all red crystals were synthetic?
I'd be upset.
Why?
I'd be
It's
upset.
it's canon. It's official
They're
at that
trying to
point.
backstep.
They explain why that's okay.
No,
What's
no,
the
no,
problem?
no. Sorry.
I mean,
Are the natural
we didn't
crystals
have
stronger?
mitochondria. We didn't have mitochondria before episode 1, and then they invented mitochondria. And now we have it, and it's okay.
No, it's still not, but okay. It makes no sense that your metachlorian count is how strong you are with the force. That makes
Oh,
absolutely no sense. It
oh,
still
that's
doesn't.
that's as much
But
as Master Yoda's or whatever the fuck the line is.
but whatever. We can argue about mitochondria and metachlorians later, but
Yeah.
um yeah, so this is the last episode of the season. I did not enjoy it.
Yeah.
But overall, like again, I think for the most part, like how many episodes did I enjoy? So that's I think like 5 out of the 9 I enjoyed,
Yeah,
which is like more than half.
yeah, I'm like
Which
right
is
there with
like
you, like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah, pretty much like 5 episodes I enjoyed out of 9, which is great for a show like this, especially an
Absolutely,
anthology
over
series.
50%.
Yeah.
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 So shout outs to Star Wars Visions Volume 2. You guys did a phenomenal job, even though we didn't like all your episodes. I very much enjoyed watching all of them. Experiencing new things, whether you like them or not, is besides the point, but you still need to give it a chance, watch it, and then,
Agreed.
uh, form an opinion on it and, have
Yeah,
a
wrestling fans,
get a discussion.
some
um,
assholes out there.
but I really enjoyed the season. I can't wait for season 3. This is becoming one of my favorite Star Wars shows that are being one of the only good ones that are being put out of all this clusterfuck of Star Wars that fucking Kathleen Kennedy's ruining. But
I forgot her name. I was like, "Who the
I'll
fuck
take
is
this in Andor.
Kathleen?"
huh?
I didn't know you were gonna go with Kennedy. I thought you were just gonna complain about some woman named Kathleen. I was like, "Eslam is
Fucking
going
Kathleen.
insane right now. Eslam's losing his shit."
Coolio, Kathleen, like what's
Like, it's
happening? Um,
like we went to that wrestling show. That one guy just started shouting, "Fuck you, Jeff!" And then you're
yeah.
like, "Who's Jeff?" Like it's one of the wrestlers.
I saw pictures of that on my phone.
Yeah,
Um,
if only you remembered it.
yeah, I was like, oh, that's that show. Then keeps talking about that I was there.
One of the
Um,
most historic shows in wrestling fucking history.
Ring of
Yeah,
Honor
let's
and
remember it. New Japan Pro Wrestling.
New Japan Pro Wrestling. I was
There,
getting there. I was getting there.
there it is.
But yes, Visions Volume 2. What are you guys' final thoughts on that?
I
Let's wrap
liked it.
this up.
I liked it. Recommend it. What like Disco said, I feel like he said it best. Whether or not you like Star Wars, enjoy it. There's something for everybody. There's good stories in there. There's some maybe not so good stories, but maybe you'll like them. We don't have the same opinions. Aslam thinks everybody looks like Coolio. Personally, I don't.
100%.
And that's the beauty of being human. We all have our own opinions.
We all have our own Coolios in life.
And exactly.
Oh
I
god.
I overall thought it was a great experience. They topped the first season was a great concept, great idea, and then second season they definitely honed in and hopefully next season we'll have maybe we'll like 3/4 of the episodes. But then again,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be the same because I think they like having a little something for everyone. They had some
Yeah.
kids for
I
episodes for
appreciate that.
kids and episodes for teenagers, just different walks of life, and kudos to them for that too. That's the beauty of an anthology. So
Yeah, exactly.
it doesn't matter who you are, check it out.
Absolutely.
100%. All right. Let's move on
You don't have final thoughts on that, Aslam?
to I already said my final thoughts.
All right.
I
Well,
enjoyed
fuck
it.
you
Can't
too,
wait
then.
for
All right.
volume 3. Um before we move on to my entertainment news, um don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channels. Comment below. Let us know what you think about Volume 2 of Star Wars Visions. And don't forget to share with your friends. Tell them to go watch this. It's a great fucking podcast. Do it. All right. My entertainment news. Let me share my screen. I got a couple of quick ones and then we can move on. um, First up, Andor Season 2 will cover the 3 days before Rogue One in the last 3 episodes. That sentence alone
Mm,
has just made the season
mm,
a fucking phenomenal
that's crazy.
one. It's going to be the best Star Wars
Show.
show, right? This is going to be the equivalent of like The Last of Us, you know?
Man, I kind of wish they didn't reveal it. To be honest,
It's just like the reason why I say this because like the first season started out very slow and it built up very quickly, and those last three fucking episodes were just
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it was so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
And then like they're gonna and then they already know where it's going, right? They already
Mm-hmm.
know where it's going, and that's one of the best ways to tell a story. Know
You know
your
the ending.
ending,
Yep.
know your ending, and then the rest is just
That's why Rogue One was so good.
oh my god, man. So I really can't wait for the second season of this show. It's gonna be phenomenal. I think I covered it last week. We should be getting it at the end of next year or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but go
Look
check that
forward to
out.
that.
Next up, Beetlejuice 2 with Jenna Ortega and Michael Keaton is coming in September 2024. So the fall of next year, right before Halloween. They should have just released this during Halloween. I don't know why they were doing it in September.
They could always push it back. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it makes sense with the vibe. But
Yep.
um, I did not enjoy Beetlejuice 1.
Beetle
Beetle
one.
1. Beetle 1. This is
Beetlejuice is a classic, dude.
Beetle leader. I know it is. I understand what it is. It's a cult classic. It's a classic. Everybody loved it. I hated it.
Hmm,
As a
fair.
kid, I just like did not enjoy how dirty he is, especially that shit on the next
He's so
to the side
dirty.
of my side of his mouth. That creeped me out so much. Like that moss growing. Like how can you stand that? Like that shit was so
That's
disgusting.
all
I
right.
don't
He's
know, man.
Beetlejuice, you know.
I know. I oof.
I just find it funny that Jenna Ortega is basically following Winona Ryder's career at this point. Um, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that she wasn't Wednesday. She was that was Christina Ricci actually. So
Yeah.
I take that back. I take that back. But I would like to see a Heather's too, starring Jenna Ortega. Heather's, one hell of a movie, you know.
Is it?
No, it really is. It's one
I
of
don't
those
know
like it's
what
like
that is.
it's a '80s movie. You have Christian Slater, who I always said is a young Jack Nicholson. So
Okay.
Heather's too.
Um. All right. Next up, Guardians of the Galaxy cast members will appear in Superman Legacy.
No shit.
James Gunn has confirmed. Obviously, that was gonna happen. I've been hearing a lot of great things of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Um, they're saying it's like a bit of a dark story, especially with Rocket Raccoon, and I don't know. That makes me feel that it's that like that review and the take that our people are given is like it's less of a Disney movie, more of a James Gunn movie, and then it's Marvel. That gives me more hope for Superman Legacy. Um,
Nice
who
point.
what cast members and what roles they will play in Superman Legacy, I I have no idea, but I wouldn't be surprised if his brother's in there. It'd be interesting if his brother's was in
Oh, Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen, the photographer. I can
I
see that.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
can see
he's
that.
old, but I mean, I can see that.
I could expect Michael Rooker to be in there too.
Yeah.
He's another one who does a lot of James Gunn stuff. So it's like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a couple
I mean,
people
they're great
bring over.
actors too,
Yeah.
so
So
it's
yeah, I got
it's
nothing against it.
um
Bring in Batista if you can. I'd
hey,
appreciate that.
that would be fantastic.
I'd
Let's do
appreciate
it.
that.
Make him Perry White.
Superboy.
Make Batista Perry White.
Yeah.
Um, that'd be
I
funny.
need the report, Lois. Just Batista bomb.
Puts her through a desk. I said 500 words.
Oh man.
Um, all right, and one of my other favorite
Oh.
anthology series is returning in uh, this June. Black Mirror.
Ooh.
I cannot fucking wait.
Can we
Black
talk about
Mirror
this
is
on the
so good.
podcast, please?
Oh, of course, of
Thank
Oh
you.
course.
yeah,
Black
Thank
Mirror.
definitely.
you.
Why
Very
We have
wouldn't we
to.
fan.
We
talk
have
about
to.
this on the
Okay.
podcast?
Good. Good. Good.
It's Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Um, the first what is it like 5 or 6 seasons they're in? Um,
I think they only got 3,
do they?
maybe 4.
Let me see.
I think it's 3 or 4.
Yeah, 4 at
But
most.
You sure it's not
regardless, they're
five or
Like
six?
seasons
all
1 and 2 are the top,
Yeah.
obviously, but it's like, nah, it's still good. That's back when it was just a British show
No,
before
five
Netflix
seasons.
took it. Really?
Yeah.
wow.
That's
Season
fucking
5 is
good.
the one that had
Miley Cyrus?
yeah.
Huh.
That was the last season that came out, and they kind of paused it because um we were going through 2020, which was a
COVID.
very long season of Black Mirror.
Yeah, for real.
um,
It's like you don't need this. You're living it.
yeah, it was wild, but yeah, man, I can't wait for season 6. It's gonna be fantastic. Black Mirror always delivers, and I'm looking for it. It's one of Netflix's best shows. I'm surprised they haven't canceled it yet because they always cancel their best shows very quickly.
They do that with their original shows, not so much the ones
This
that
is
they
not an
acquire.
original.
No, well, is it? I don't know if it is. I know it was made by. I know it's a British show, and I think Netflix eventually acquired it
Oh, you're right. I
because it's
think it
season one and
was. Yeah.
two wasn't like it was.
Yeah.
It was on Netflix, but I don't know if they were the ones
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I think you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was done by someone else from the Netflix, like had it on there and then they just kept it going.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's why those are the two best seasons, bro.
I
Like,
mean, you're right. I mean, I enjoyed a lot of the episodes.
oh yeah, no,
Again, this is
there's
like
some great
they
ones.
had
Yeah,
some fucking bangers in those other 4 seasons or 3 seasons.
Yeah,
But I mean,
they're
my
always
goodness.
like out there and make you think.
Yeah,
modern day Twilight Zone. Like,
it
there's no
is.
better way to put it. Like, I've always loved watching old episodes of
Yeah,
Twilight Zone. So when I found Black Mirror, I was like, fuck yes,
I
like this
had
is what I
one
want.
back at one point. I was watching them, the old
Black Mirrors.
Twilight Zone
Oh yeah,
episodes. Very good, very
yeah,
good.
they're great.
And just seeing them, I was just like, this is from this and this from this, and I'm like, oh,
Yep.
it's not from this. It's all of that copied the
This
Twilight Zone, and it was
exactly.
just like it was amazing to see like the root of all the
Yep.
shit that I loved. So it was
Dude,
like
Twilight Zone's
it was
like
phenomenal.
people don't talk about it enough. That's like one of the greatest fucking shows in
Oh,
history.
again, an anthology series.
Exactly.
Yeah, anthology series is just the best.
Been saying it for years, man.
Man, look forward to Birthright. Um, but that is all my news for today.
All right. All right.
What do we
You
want to do
want to
next?
do
You want to do
you want to do your
Powerbomb
power
Weekly
bomb?
or Disco's reviews?
Up to you guys. I'm ready if you want me to go.
If you're ready, you can go.
All
All
right,
right,
let's go.
Power
All right.
Bomb Weekly.
If you guys like anthology series, man, do I don't have shit for you. So let me go ahead, share my screen. So I'm gonna focus on literally one match.
Okay.
So let me know when you can see that. That, ladies and gentlemen, that is Bad Bunny.
Oh
Uh,
Lord.
yeah, no, you shut the hell up, sir. This is wrestling fucking superstar Bad Bunny, phenomenal goddamn performer. And he's wrestled a couple matches here and there. The reason why I want to talk about this match is one, I'm Puerto Rican. Two, this is the first time in 18 years WWE's done a show in Puerto Rico.
Damn,
So
really?
yeah, so they went back, and one of the quote unquote main events was Bad Bunny from Puerto Rico up against Damian Priest, formerly known as Punishment Martinez, which is the coolest fucking name ever in Ring of Honor,
Punishment Martinez.
also Puerto Rican, going head to head. And I was like, okay, they're going out there. These two men in Bad Bunny's first match, WrestleMania, about a year or two ago. Bad Bunny was tag team partners with Damian Priest. They went out there. They were having a San Juan street fight. Love saying that. And it was badass. Bad Bunny went out there. He had kendo sticks, as you can see. He used multiple weapons. They went back and forth. One hell of a match. Bad Bunny has been many times people have said in the past, especially like Triple H. He's a diehard fan. He's not just one of the celebrities that's just like, oh yeah, I want to get clout for a little bit. WrestleMania season's coming up. Let me just show up at WWE. No,
Yeah.
Bad Bunny is a wrestling fan. A couple years ago, he made a song and called it Booker T and got Booker T in the
Nice.
video. And that was before he started doing stuff with WWE. That kind of like bridged the gap to it. And they said whenever he has the chance, he'll go to the WWE Performance Center and practice on his wrestling. So that's
Oh
like
wow.
this man he loves wrestling. So because of that, I got respect for him. That and then when you think about it, this man just headlined 2 nights of Coachella. He was at the Met Gala thing. He was doing like a bunch of other fucking things, and then like at the end of the week or at the end of like the 2 week period, he's over here having a fucking street fight in WWE. Like this man's a hard worker. So all the respect in the world to him. Had one hell of a match. What's on my next slide here? Okay, this is this is one part of the match where Damian Priest tried to murder Bad Bunny.
Oh god.
Yeah, they jumped off a thing basically, and they put Bad Bunny through what I believe that was like 3 tables under sheets. And Bad Bunny, he took the bunt. He took the bump. Man, just he's out there. He's just doing it. He's out there performing. He's taking hard hits, doing one hell of a job. And
He
I
looks
can't.
dead in that picture.
Yeah, dude. When I say he could sell, real quick, what's it called? Kayfabe corner. What does sell mean?
But I'm sorry, say that again.
What is
Sell the
selling
script,
in wrestling? What is selling?
Selling, um, like what he's doing right now.
take the pain, sell the pain.
Sell the pain. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. You make it look like it hurts real bad. Holy shit, Bad Bunny could sell. Like Dolph Ziggler, Shawn Michaels, these are some of the best sellers ever. But Bad Bunny was like, especially as a non fucking wrestler, this man was selling his ass off. And I can't, not talk about Damian Priest. He's in there with a guy who doesn't wrestle, and he fucking made him look like a superstar. So Damian Priest is a fucking phenomenal wrestler. He was great on the Indies as Punishment Martinez. Always liked him. When he went to WWE, he was kind of lost for a little bit. Then he found himself as Damian Priest. Just badass wrestler. I'd love to see him with a world title one day. But that wasn't it. Because they were in Puerto Rico, they had to go. They had to bust out all the stops. They had to bring back some old people. So one of my favorites was there as well. We got the return of Carlito, who came out in the middle of the match to save Bad Bunny. At one point, we had Damian Priest and his faction, the Judgment Day, were out there. They were beating on Bunny, and then we had to get some help. Carlito was one of the people that came out. Rey Mysterio came out as well. The whole LWO, the Latino World Order, came out. But Carlito came out and got one of the biggest fucking pops I've ever seen in my life. Carlito in Puerto Rico in WWE after many, many years. Phenomenal. Some could say it was really cool. So got to see that. He did the whole bite an apple, spit in somebody's face. It was great.
Oh man, damn, he's still in good shape. Good for him.
Yeah. Oh, he's in better shape now than he used to be.
Oh,
Yeah. Happy birthday, Henry. Thank you. So we got Carlito. He came back. Everybody fucking loved it. We also got the return of another legend. You guys probably don't know this man, and this is my favorite picture ever of him, Savio Vega. When I tell you this man stood like
looks
this
like
for
a
a solid
security
like
guard.
he stood like this for like 4 minutes straight.
I look like my uncle. That's crazy.
Savio Vega is a Puerto Rican legend in wrestling, right? As you guys know, Disco and Daniel, please tell me everything's gonna be okay. Henry, don't you
It's
worry.
gonna be better than okay because you're here now.
Exactly. But no, Savio Vega. As you guys know, I moved to Puerto Rico for a little bit because I was going to start training in wrestling. I actually had to. I met with Savio Vega. Was going to potentially be trained by him at one point. And it didn't happen. But yeah, no, I did meet Vega. Really cool dude. But he showed up here and he used to wrestle WWE back in the day. I want to say Stone Cold Steve Austin's first like major pay per view in WWE was against Savio Vega. They were like married together for a little bit, dealing with that. That's a term in wrestling where you fight somebody a bunch of times in a row. You're considered married at that point.
Hmm.
Eslam, show some love. He needs it. That's all you got. That's all you got for Henry. That's it.
I
That's
mean,
it.
yeah.
But no, seeing Savio Vega there was cool. It was a great pop.
Couldn't
He
even
stood like
give
this
him
for
that
4 minutes.
second thumb.
Yeah, I know, right? But no, then Savio Vega did like his weird martial arts thing that he did. He kicked Finn Balor and it was cool. And at the very end of the night, Bad Bunny wins. He's on the shoulders of the Latino World Order. We had Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar. The other two, I'm sorry, but I cannot remember their names at this point in time. But formerly known as Legado del Fantasma. So LWO stands strong. Bad Bunny had one hell of a match. Very entertaining. This was one of the better matches I've seen in a long time. I'm not saying that because I'm from Puerto Rico or anything. I'm just saying it was actually really entertaining bell to bell. You don't
Damn,
get to see that too
Carlito,
often.
fucking
Yeah, dude.
brolic. Jesus.
That's what I'm saying, Carly. Well, I don't know if you remember a little while ago in Powerbomb Weekly.
Yeah.
No.
Man deserves it. Yeah, show them abs,
No, I
bro.
agree.
You worked hard on those.
And but but no, a while ago in Powerbomb Weekly, where I talked about Carlito showed up at the Royal Rumble. I don't know if it was it was the not even this last Royal Rumble, it was the one before it. Carlito showed up, everybody lost their minds. I was happy, and then he showed up on Raw for like 1 or 2 weeks after that, and then he didn't sign a WWE contract. Great reaction, not as big as this one, but everybody's like, "Bro, fucking bring Carlito back. We want him in the
Yeah.
WWE." Like, but at this point, I think it's similar to Kota Ibushi, where I think he doesn't want to be stuck with one company. I think he wants to be able to work in multiple places.
Yeah.
But I mean, WWE wants him, and he's only getting older. I mean, granted, he could still wrestle, he can still does amazing things, but if you want to go in WWE, things are a little bit better now. Triple H is running shit.
Yeah.
Why not? But
Vince McMahon is just busy getting Botox. So use this chance, bro.
man, that's what I feel like. Vince is just trying to get Carlito's afro on his face. That's his mustache. that's all I got for Power Bomb Weekly. I just want to talk. I just want to highlight this match because this is one of the better WWE matches I've seen in a long, long time. So very entertaining. They did one hell of a job.
Sounds
Go ahead.
awesome, man.
I'm done with that.
Shout outs to Carlito.
Yep.
And his abs.
And and everybody involved. Everybody involved in that match. Rey Mysterio was in there. I don't know if you guys saw him. He's that small.
Yeah, I did not.
Yeah, he was
fucking
there.
see
He
him.
was holding up Bad Buddy's one left leg. But yeah,
You mean hanging off of it?
no, he was holding it up. He was carrying him.
I picture somebody else holding him, and Rey Mysterio's just holding that
Hey,
person.
tell you
like-
what, I'll share my screen again real quick. Tell me if you can find where is Rey Mysterio.
Find Rey Mysterio.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. Yo,
Matt
bro,
comes in.
he's barely like the guy behind him is holding the leg. He's just like kind of just grabbing it.
He's holding
too.
his knee.
Yeah, he's holding his calf up.
That
like-
man's a legend. He's officially a
I know
WWE
he's a
legend.
legend,
Let him have his moment.
but
He
like
was there.
the rope literally cuts off his face. Like it's
Well,
on
yeah,
his
no,
hip.
heis just barely taller than the ropes. We know that. That's Rey Mysterio.
And his
I mean,
mask
shout outs to Rey
kinda blends
Mysterio, but
in.
that's hilarious, bro. I didn't even notice.
Incognito. He's a chameleon.
That's hilarious.
That's where the Mysterio part comes in.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen. Let's see. Here we go. Today I'm gonna do my review, Disco's review, and I'm gonna give y'all a shotgun fire on 5 different shows that I watched recently. And some you might have never heard of, and some you probably have. But I'm gonna give you the lowdown. And can y'all see my screen?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so the first one on my list is the Wolfpack. And as you can see, it has Sarah Michelle Gellar, and that was probably the best part about the show, and it ends there.
Yeah, I
damn.
tried watching this show. Couldn't even get through the whole first episode.
That's upsetting because
I-
Wolfpack is just such an important name in wrestling. So they're
Oh,
letting you down.
I remember
I-
them
it-
actually.
I love werewolves, so I was like, I have to give this show a shot.
Same.
And they had a okay little ensemble, but it just didn't. For me, it didn't like evolve enough. It didn't create enough traction or wow me
I didn't even
enough.
get
It was-
to the part where Sarah Michelle Gellar comes into the show.
yeah, there's like twists and turns at the end. At the
There's
end, I
twists
just
and
didn't
turns,
even
all
care
right.
about Sarah McGellar. Honestly, it was just not a good show. Like I can't even name one good thing about the show, and that's sad.
I just gave it to you, bro.
I already love it. Like
Sarah McGellar.
that's all it took. That's how you know we're tired because that is not that funny. But we
It's
can't
not
stop fucking laughing.
Oh fuck, I'm crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I give this one like -2 thumbs.
Damn.
That's
Please
just 2
save
thumbs
your
down,
time.
bro.
It's okay. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's not even a Migueler. Didn't even get one Migueler.
How you have a McGellar and not even get a McGellar?
That's crazy.
Unbelievable. Man, really. This show, honestly, this show is so bad that we're talking about a whole hypothetical name more than the show.
For real.
It's that.
I don't like this image.
Um,
I'll be like, this is not a great way. You said it's about werewolves. I thought she was in the middle of a fucking forest fire. I don't know.
Yeah, she seems like a forest firefighter.
Yeah, exactly.
She is. That is what she is. As you can see on her shirt, she's an arson investigator.
I'm muting myself. Fuck this.
That's fucking
It turns out there's a
hilarious.
big forest fire, and there's a werewolf in the forest fire that turns a bunch of people into werewolves. And you would think that would be cool, but it just turned out not to be at all. And they just squandered a whole good opportunity.
And let me guess, Sarah McGellar's doing the investigation, trying to catch these werewolves.
She's doing the investigation, and it just
She's McGellering out there.
She is McGellering. The plot twist. She's part of the plot twist at the end, and
I hope they get a
she-
second season.
She McGellered really hard. Like that's all I could say. Like,
All
Alright, I'm gonna move on. I'm move on to the next one. That one
because we're not gonna stop.
is just not good. Okay, let me share my next screen with y'all. Next one will be the Watchful Eye. Okay, this was a show that probably no one's ever heard of. It came out
I did
called The
hear of
One
it.
Fly.
Was it on Netflix or something?
I I don't even know, to be
It's
honest.
on one of those
It
fucking.
Disco, can you
it
do me a
had
favor?
like
Can you zoom in a little bit? I want to get a good look at the cast, please.
zero advertisement.
Thank you.
It's just a show that appeared on my radar. I have this website that gives me like a master list of all the shows that are out, and so I was like, "Oh, what's this?" And I thought the cast looked kind of cool. It has this lady from Angel that I used to watch, the show Angel with Buffy.
Oh, Sarah
The,
McKellar.
the second one, Sarah McGill.
It's all gonna come back, damn it. We're gonna
Coolio,
make
watch
it
out!
come back.
Coolio's gonna be coming in. Yeah, Coolio on the left. Um,
Oh
but
god.
I had this the actress from Angel. She played this badass like warrior chick, and the main lead role lady. I thought she was kind of cute, and she was fun little actress. But overall, the writing was just not there. It was like this con artist, and then all of a sudden she's like sneaking into this rich family, and then ghosts got involved, and I at that point I was like, this is just terrible. It's not good. It's it Ghost pretty much helped her rob somebody.
You got McGellard again, bro.
For
That's
real.
two
I
McGellards in a
did.
row.
I legit don't know any of these actors. I think it's the first time it's ever happened. I don't know one person.
I got McGillard hard, but you know what? That's the sacrifice I'm willing to take to give y'all the good, 4-on-1 on all these shows because
Thank you for your sacrifice, sir.
I do what I do. I do what I can for my nation. This one, I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it a half a thumb just because
Yeah.
I do personally have a crush on the main lead role, but that's not enough to watch it. It still just was not a good show. It fell apart for many reasons and many places. So definitely do not go watch this. This is going to be a pass, definitely a hard pass. But this is it. This is it for the bad shows on my little top five or quick five, whatever you want to call it. It gets better from here. And for my next show, what do we jump into? No, no, no. Okay, yeah, here we go. Sharing now. Let me know if y'all can see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
The
the
Night
Night Agent.
Agent.
This one apparently was a book beforehand written by Matthew Quirk. So maybe that's why it had a underlying nice pacing and everything kind of just felt good about this show. At first, I wanted to not like it because the premise is pretty much this guy is working for a secret government corporation. I mean, not corporation, government agency, and his job is literally to just watch a phone. And I thought that was kind of silly, like a waste of money, waste of manpower. You can easily
Well,
give
it's
a
not just
robot.
any phone, right? It's so the night agent is manning this phone that these undercover agents, whenever they're in trouble or they've been found out, they can call to this number and he can guide them to what to do or send them help or whatnot. So that's his job, and he does the night shift. Uh,
It's 911 for secret agents,
yeah,
espionage,
pretty
pretty much.
much.
Like,
But
which
the
is
story builds up very well because I saw the show also.
yeah,
It
from
definitely builds up.
yeah, totally. And that's where I'm going with this. At first, I wanted to not like it, but then as the story progressed, it just wowed me. It all came together. He played a strong role. The supporting actress played an excellent role as well. The way
Hmm.
they work together, the twists and turns, and I kind of like this like uh running from the government type like storyline where they're kind of hiding and have to go to safe houses and kind of prove their innocence in certain parts, and it gets like a very it's just a nice like roller coaster ride, a kind of adrenaline
What
parts and
what I enjoyed about this, it's not like terrorism. It's not like your basic, terrorist show
24.
or whatever. It was about the corruption within the U.S. government and how like it's so easy if like the corrupt people in power, they can like literally almost bury anyone and any fucked up shit they did, and it's very hard for them to get caught, and like they just have the power, and if and you don't know who to trust, and like so there was always this constant like who can we trust, who like don't say anything, like so how can you get anything done when everyone around you is like could be an enemy, you know, and they're all like United States senators, like fucking the vice president, like you know what I mean, people that are
People of
supposed to
power.
be, yeah, like the elected officials, quote unquote, like the good guy, but they're all pieces of shit. So that's what I really enjoyed about the show. It took like a different aspect of like the political world, and yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Real quick, guys. I got
Trust no one.
this gave me an idea
Hmm.
for a show. What if it was that same concept, but instead of this, it's you to put it in the Avatar universe, and it's an anthology series where it's one mysterious person trying to help members of the White Lotus get through shit.
Oh,
No,
damn, nice.
no,
That could be something.
I would
Email
fucking
them.
watch the fuck out of that.
No, that would be fantastic.
You got to write that down.
I mean, I can't make it. I don't own the rights.
But back to the show, The Night Agent. It definitely wowed me. I'm gonna give this one 2 thumbs up. And if you got the time, definitely check it out. Um, Phenomenal performances, phenomenal story, everything. One of the better Netflix shows that kind of just appeared on the radar. They didn't give like any advertising or anything. It just
No,
one Friday it was there, and so I took the leap, and this one was for the better, considering the other two were just horrendous. So
I forgot I watched two other shows that were kind of in similar in style. One of them being on Netflix, but it was on the European end. Um, and then I forgot where the other show I watched right before The Night Agent that was kind of similar, like government shit. And I'm trying to find them the names
this
now, but
reminded me of Ryan. What's it called?
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan. Yeah, it reminded me a little of Jack Ryan in
I
the
never watched Jack Ryan, but I did watch Jack Reacher. Reacher was
Jack
good on
Reacher was
Amazon
good. That
Prime,
was
yeah.
great. Yeah, they're getting another season two.
Wow, I
Jack
don't
Yeah.
know. I
Reacher.
legit thought that was the same fucking thing.
No,
Okay.
no.
You know,
No,
anytime I see it's like, oh, dude with a gun
Oh,
runs around. I got it.
Treason was the other one I saw,
I haven't seen
but
that.
that was also British.
Mm.
That
I
was
gotta
about the
check that
British
one
show
out.
with the Daredevil as
Charlie Cox.
Maddox.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Matthew Cox, I think, but yeah,
Yeah,
Maddox.
It's Charlie
same
Cox.
thing.
It's
Oh,
definitely
Charlie
Charlie
Cox.
Cox.
It's not
Yeah, I know
Matthew.
for a
Okay,
fact it's Charlie Cox.
it is Charlie Cox.
Matt Murdock.
You're right. Maddock. You
It's
said
okay.
Maddock. I
When
said
they said
Matthew
Maddox, I was
Cox.
like, yeah, Matthew Cox. Like, no, I know it, guys.
Just
Oh
making
God.
out characters. It's all good. It's all
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Anyway, Night Agent, 2 thumbs up. Eslam likes it. I like it, so you know it's good. Definitely give it a shot. And shout out to Matthew Quirk for writing the book. Kind of segued everything. I think it, definitely was a quality story. All right, next one. My next one is mm, this one was a banger. I really like this one. Here we go. Believe I'm sharing.
I mean, it has Bryan Cranston in it. I mean, I'm sure it's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Malcolm in the Middle was
Uh,
overrated.
um, I don't even remember Malcolm in the Middle. I got dementia.
Exactly.
All I know is Frankie Muniz. um, but this show, Your Honor, was amazing. Like, probably one of the better shows I've seen in a long time. Just the whole concept. How far would you go to save your child? As I said in the picture, that's pretty much the premise of the show. This his son kills somebody, and he, as a judge, pretty much does everything in his power to save his son from going to jail. And it all blows up in his face. And the last season ended so crazy. So this next season really just continued. It took the ball, it kept the ball rolling, and I was wondering where they were going to go from the last season, because a lot of stuff happened. People died, and it got pretty intense towards the end. And but this season it did an excellent job. You get to see Bryan Cranston. He's just so good at bringing characters to life, and I love how he can make a character evolve. Like in Breaking Bad, he was just a straight edge high school teacher. Next thing you know, he's like a meth cooking super drug god, drug lord. So in this one, he kind of has this insane progression as well, where he's uh, like a judge, um, a straight edge judge, probably one of the better judges. He's got an amazing reputation, and then he has to go and do all these terrible things.
Uncle
And
Phil.
and by season two, you see him. He's gone to jail and he's done like his hard time. He's lost people in his life, and you see he has this crazy beard, like a depression beard and jail beard, whatever you want to call it. He's just doesn't even care to live, and it's almost like a whole new character for the first season. And I love that he's just has that acting range, and it all just goes so well. The um the actors as well deserve some recognition. They brought this to life. Besides Bryan Cranston, it has Hunter Doohan, who played the son. He plays a good job. He just makes you want to hate him in a sense. It's like just chill out. What are you doing, son? Uh, and then, but another big shout I wanted to give to was Michael Stolbarg. Stolbarg. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he plays Jimmy Baxter, who's like this drug mafia kind of drug lord type of guy, and that Bryan Cranston gets involved with. He's just such a great actor. He has range, and he has this crazy face sometimes. I don't know if it's camera magic or what, or just like angles, but at certain points he just has this like really malicious face, and it's like, oh, very unsettling. And I really like the the way he portrayed this character. And also in season two, it had Rosie Perez, so I kind of I love seeing her. She's nostalgic. She brings up nostalgia for me, and she was a pivotal character in this season. And man, if you like a good drama, if you're all about family, like Vin Diesel, and you like good street gang mafia tension. There's a lot of different things to the show that I just can't even begin to describe. You just have to watch it for yourself. It's pay attention to the details, because some episodes will give you some clues that may not you might not catch at the first glance, first watch, but later on the show they come up, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's a this one was just the quality. I would give this one 4 stars, 4 thumbs up. I'm borrowing somebody else's thumbs because this show's so good. I want to give it that 4 thumbs up. Um, so definitely go watch this. This is a must watch in my opinion. Shout out to Showtime for producing this. Me and my wife have been me and my girlfriend, fiance, whatever. Still getting used to calling her whatever. She, me, we and her, me and her, we really enjoyed this. There's just something in it. It just in my adult years, I can really appreciate just the plot, the storyline, and the way it makes you think. It's a amazing show, amazing
Signs
show.
of a great
Definitely,
story right there.
exactly, exactly. So, if you got the time, if you got the chance, definitely shut the lights off, get some popcorn ready, and be prepared to get entertained and kind of fall for these characters, because they do so good at just portraying them and making them feel real, and kind of like you feel like you're part of their situation, and they get you thinking like, what would I do in that situation? Like that's that's rough, like between a rock and a hard place. It's just like you don't want to make the decision because they both suck. It's a lot of tough choices, and you just have to watch it. I If you have the time, just get out there and turn it on. Do whatever you have to do. Showtime's not that expensive on Amazon. Uh, I'm gonna end that there. Definitely, Bryan Cranston is like an acting god. And last up is another show that might have gone under your radar. I didn't see too much ads for this. Y'all see that?
That sounds good.
Okay. So the show that my next show is called The Power. It recently released on Amazon, and not to be confused with just regular Power, quote unquote Power with 50 Cent. This is a whole another show. Um, I was telling my cousin about this show, and the whole time he thought I was talking about Power with 50 Cent, and I was no, no. So this I just have to distinguish. This is not that show. Um,
I feel like they should have done a different name, to be honest. Like that's such a popular show already. Like Power, it's like you can't call something the Power and expect it not to get confused.
Honestly, when I was looking for this image, I kept seeing like
Yeah.
the other Power, and I was like, gosh dang it! I like had to go down a whole page or two just to.
It's like 28 days later and then 28 days. It's
Yeah,
like why would they
yep.
do that? Like one of them is it's like what's it called, like Love Story starring what's her face? Like I can't remember her name.
Romance comedy.
Yeah, that's like I think The Office made a joke about it. It's like, yeah, I wanted to rent it because that's how old The Office is, and they're like, yeah, and I got 28 days staring. The whole time I was thinking, where's Sandra Bullock? That's who it is.
That's funny. That's hilarious. But back to the show at hand. It's The Power, starring Tony Collette. She's been in a couple shows. She's definitely familiar, and one of my favorites, John Leguizamo, an amazing Latin actor. Got to give him the props. He does an amazing job at playing Rob in this show, the husband of Tony Collette. And has Eddie Marson as well. He's been in Ray Donovan. He's another great actor. Olii Carvalho, I definitely butchered that, but she did an amazing job as well. Um, Josh Charles, if you see his face, I know you'll recognize him. He played Daniel Dandon. Um, but I just had to give him a quick shout out because this was a pretty compelling show. I don't know if everybody's gonna like it, but I for myself definitely enjoyed the heck out of it. It kind of flips the script in the power dynamics of man and woman because in our reality men have more muscles and we kind of can just strong arm our way through things, and women have to kind of you know move out of the way for us, and just physically we are stronger or whatever. But so women have to live in fear, kind of, or not kind of, but they do. Some women. So this show kind of really flips the script, and teenage teenage women are develop an organ on their collarbone that helps them produce electricity, kind of like a Sith Lord. They can shoot out like electric bolts or like power light bulbs. They pretty much become a power source, and it kind of flips the script, like I was saying, because now men are kind of afraid of women because women can just are like the alpha species now. They can just shock the heck out of you, shoot Death Lord like Sith Lord bolts across a room at you at a 1,000 volts, whatever. And so it's kind of a an interesting take on a what if women were the dominant species, and you kind of see how the government would handle it. They kind of like want to isolate women, and especially like in the Eastern nations, like Muslim countries where women have less rights and stuff. They started developing the powers, and a lot of the officials and army were like, trying to get them to get in their place, and then the women just stood up to them because like we don't have to bow down to you anymore. They started shocking the soldiers, and they kind of rallied through the streets, and they like unified as this kind of like electric superpower, just kind of reestablishing society almost, and like taking control. And you really get to see some interesting takes on this what if, and the power has some pretty interesting characters. They have this lady here, Tony Collette, is a senator, and she's kind of like the face for the power. Um, and
Henry's got a interesting question. Do they try to make a matriarch society?
At this point, they don't, not yet. At least on the show side of things, they haven't done that. They're still trying to. They just kind of, from what my understanding, they just kind of want to like fit in. Well, one, there's kind of different groups grow. They're following three different groups. They have this one group led by this black woman. She calls herself Eve, and she has like a voice in her head that kind of guides her. I don't know if it's like a godly entity or anything, but it does help her learn how to use her powers, where she can like mind control, so light mind control, and she can do like amazing things. She brought a bird back to life with like electrical impulses. And then there's like another young lady in London who uh, her father is like a mafia or like gang leader in London, and she's pretty much like the uh, last child of his that kind of he neglects because she's a woman, and he's also like half uh, from like a girlfriend. She's like half related to the other kids, so they all treat her like crap because she's just a like a half sister. But once she starts getting the power, the table the flip scripts because now she can like bust heads and get him money, and eventually she kind of sees her own power, and people want to follow her because of the way she's controlling her power and using it and like blowing up cars and doing
This
crazy
is
stuff.
Henry has another good question, and I want to know this before I watch this show. How woke is this show?
How woke? Um, I would say that it's kind of woke. It's a for an example like this uh this event or this like evolution only happens on teenage women, and there is a case in the show where there's um a a young man who they call intersex, where he was born with both um reproductive organs, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so this young man actually developed the organ, and they kind of tap into that, and they tap into like him kind of blowing his cover, not cover, but like telling his business about his intersex without his like permission. It kind of gets into that a little bit, so it's kind of a little woke, but um, you know, it's a modern day show, so yeah, you need to be a little woke now. But overall, it's an interesting experience, and I do recommend it. I'll give this one two thumbs up. It wasn't as good as Your Honor, but it had some faults. But overall, I thought the show had a pretty compelling premise, and they executed pretty well. Me and the wife definitely enjoyed this show, and we're looking forward to season two. We want to see it all kind of come together. Uh they ended on like on a cliffhanger kind of setup. So I'm definitely looking forward to next season, and I highly recommend that you check it out as well. Especially if you like supernatural stuff, because I always want electricity powers. That sounds so cool. Be like Raiden or Static Shock. It's kind of cool to see other people have those powers and just create the mindset. I like imagining myself as these characters, and this was just a nice roller coaster ride. Did a lot of secrets and just like hiding your powers, trying to hide your powers, and then just kind of accepting the role changes. A lot of the young women are kind of not used to having power, and so it's like it's kind of funny to see the men kind of feel challenged by these young women, and it's like you see the men turn into just like ego dumbheads. Like um, it's it's an interesting show. I would fascinating.
It's an
I definitely
interesting
recommend watching it.
concept.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And there go. Therefore, I recommend it, and two thumbs up, and I'm gonna end it there.
Let's wrap up this episode. You guys got final thoughts?
Just it's been a long week for me. It's been a long
Yeah.
week. Still going.
Yeah.
No, overall, just to take it back real quick, Star Wars Visions, not bad. Anthology series as a whole, we touched on this many times. are always entertaining. They're always fun. I encourage there to be more anthologies, and not just shows, but also movies, comics, games, everything. Like there is anthologies in all these mediums already, but why not welcome more? That's more opportunities for storytelling and more opportunities for creators. So I'd love to see more of that.
Disco.
I
Oh
my
shit! I'm
next
sorry. That just blew my mind. What Henry just put in the chat. Round two of Diablo 4 beta comes out this weekend. Thank you, Henry. I needed to know that. I'm getting back in that beta.
Oh, I speaking of that, we mentioned Diablo 4 like last week or something
Yeah.
or last
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
And so it just so happens that my brother was telling me that I know y'all have said it before, but I finally like took the time to play Game Pass on my laptop, the
yeah.
Xbox,
The greatest deal in
and
gaming. Yeah,
it's amazing. It's
yeah, I know.
amazing. I'm finally utilizing my gamer laptop. I was able to play Elder Scrolls Online. Like I was able to
Yep.
upload my character and I'm playing. And granted, it's cloud, but honestly, it's not too bad. It's really
No, Game Pass does it very, very well. I sold Game Pass to a customer today, and I don't work for Xbox.
I mean, they
it's
need it right now.
it's phenomenal though. It just brings back all the nostalgia. Me and my brother were playing Elder Scrolls. I got to rebuild my character because apparently I've missed like a billion seasons, and so I had to
Oh
respect
yeah.
my guy and relearn him, and I got to get reacclimated. And so it's kind of fun just running through Tamriel, just like with my old Sork, electric magic of Sork, just like shocking people like Raiden, Static Shock, or people from the show The Power. It's a and also it's really cool. They have a lot of games. They had what was it, that vampire game, Redfall or something. I was gonna
Yeah,
play that,
that's
then I
really
was
cool.
like
They got Redfall.
I was gonna play that, and I was like no. And then they have all the Halos, Gears of War. They had
How was
uh
Redfall, Dan? Did you try it?
I did not. I had to
Okay.
like make an account or something, and I was like, nope, you
No,
lost me.
don't. No, that game's fucking trash.
I wanted to see it. I don't know. And they had it like on the top of the list. I was like,
Oh yeah, because
oh,
it's like the newest big thing.
but,
The
but
reason why I
honestly,
laugh at it is because Xbox had like Phil Spencer was recently on a kind of funny podcast, just like, yeah, we fucked up. Like it's like it's really bad. Like it's
it's
really
that
bad.
bad.
Like
Well,
the head of Xbox is like, we know we fucked up. Like
damn. I'm glad I didn't play that then, and I'm glad they're kind of just giving it for free on the Game
What
Pass.
I
Just
love
throw
about
it in
Phil
there.
Spencer is how real he is.
oh
He
yeah,
doesn't
he
try to
doesn't.
bullshit. He
He's
doesn't.
straight up. Yeah,
He's like we fucked up. Like he
yeah.
admits when he's wrong. He's already admitted defeat to this console war for this
Previous console, but
oh
yeah.
previous
Not
console.
this one. Yeah, he said we lost. He said Xbox is in third place right now because and we lost the last generation,
Yeah.
which you never hear anybody say shit like that.
Exactly. So like
Shout out
he's
to Phil. Yeah,
like
he's cool.
real, and I love him. That's why
No,
I
go
Oh
still
ahead.
pay for
yeah.
my Game Pass and never use it.
I also was able to play Jedi Fallen Order,
Nice.
and that
Oh
one's
yeah,
actually a really fun game. I found
That's
no, it's a
myself
good
an
like
game.
amazing game.
getting sucked in, and it
Great
was
game.
like May 4th too, or whatever. Or I don't even know.
May the
It
fourth.
felt
Yeah.
it felt it felt right. It felt right, and
I'm still
I
playing the
got sucked
sequel. It's
into
still
that.
great.
I got sucked into it. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play for a couple more minutes. Next thing you know, 2 hours went by. I was like, I gotta go to bed. It felt good to kind of get into that childlike state. I used to play like that when I was
I
younger,
don't think he
just
has the hours.
hours.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. When Henry put in the chat, I was like, "Fuck yes."
He said
Disco,
play
hear me
that
out.
Persona
It's a
Royal.
great game. I played it only 140 hours. It's a
Oh yeah.
That's
phenomenal
it.
game. It's but seriously, it's one of the greatest fucking games I've ever played. It's worth it. I'm considering going back.
Um
Persona Royale. I got to check it out. I mean,
Persona 5 Royale. Yeah.
I'm about to be done with school next week, so I might have a little more time to do the things that I like. So I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, Persona Royale. Oh, they also have Yakuza. I remember you
All of
playing
them.
that.
Oh yeah, they're all
Yeah.
great. Get it if you get a chance, play Forgotten City. It's a short game. It's made by fans of Skyrim and Oblivion. It's like they took that and made their own game with it. Just a few minutes. Really cool concept. I suggest you try it out. Forgotten City. Short
I
game.
will. I will. Okay, cool. I'm gonna write that down. I'm done with my final thoughts. You could go ahead.
um today on the train, not on the train, on the bus, I was just like browsing the shorts on YouTube, And this one short came up, and it was just this girl in like like a skimpy outfit, and she was doing like hula hoop. And like she had skills with the hula hoop. It's not just, you know what I mean? That shit was just like going in between her legs, up, like around, like it was doing shit I never seen a hula hoop do. But I had this thought. I was like this skill would never even have developed if it wasn't for the internet and her just being in a skimpy outfit and
Nobody would
doing
have
this.
watched that video if that was the
Like
case. Yeah.
who? It's like imagine the internet never existed. Like this chick would just like not like it's I don't know. I don't know, man. I was just like I was very like I was just like what the fuck. Sometimes the internet is fantastic. I love the memes. I love the jokes. And then you see shit like that, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Hey, I mean, shout out
I
to her to
mean,
having this talent. It's cool.
I guess.
don't a
We're
lot
three
of
dudes on
people
a podcast.
perform
Nobody gives a
on
shit about our
subways though?
podcast. Like,
Sure, sure, but it's
you know,
the but I mean, I yeah, no, I mean, she definitely gets more views than us, so I mean, good
yeah,
for her. But like, I mean, it's also like what the like, I mean,
yeah. It's about taking anything that you have and making it into something. That's really what it is.
I guess,
it's
man. But it's
it's
just like
That's
it's
about
what we're
hula hoop.
attempting to do. We're literally just three guys talking.
It's yeah, but it's
sharing
like,
your creativity and
Yeah.
connecting with the masses.
is that creative? Is
Yes.
hula hoop creative?
It
Yes.
is if the way you do it. I mean,
100%. Yes.
let me see you do it.
That's
I bet you
significantly more
can do it
creative than
half
what
of
we're
the way.
doing.
No, how is it more creative than what we're doing?
We're three guys having a conversation.
With you guys having a conversation about specific niche, and we're breaking it down. I
So
mean,
if you could find
it's
almost
more
any three guys to have a conversation, now it might not be the same quality of conversation. I'll give you
sure.
that, but I feel like it's more unique to find somebody who could do insane hula hoop tricks.
I guess you guys are. I don't know.
Also,
I
yeah,
don't.
three amigos. What's going on? 777 Studios.
Hey, yeah.
Um, I just I don't know. I saw that and I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like I don't.
Yeah, we're totally better than some hula hooper on the subway. Like, ugh.
I mean, she wasn't on Subway, but okay. Um,
Hey man, to each his own. Everybody has. I mean, you have people do dumb shit, but hey, they have millions of followers because they do it better than somebody else does. So it's like shout out to them.
like
She's doing what
what
she
is this
loves.
what
At
is
the
this
end of the
world
day,
coming
that's
to when someone who does hula hoop is like fucking like getting millions of views? It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
Hey man, it's the world we live in.
God.
You sound like I know you're old, but you sound real old right now.
I am real old, bro. I'm getting old. Like I'm aging faster than dogs. It's ridiculous.
damn, that's pretty fast.
Like it's wild.
There you go, 777 Studios. We need strippers. Do you know how much better our content would be if that was?
There's just strippers in the background.
I want to see
Jesus.
strippers with hula hoops. You see it
They are
twerking
the
with a
hula hoop, Dan. Strippers are the hula hoops. They spin around the pole. Come on, bro.
See, when you said it, I was picturing them spinning around other strippers.
They can do that too. Her Karana. Just pull
That's
that
impressive as hell.
shit off. Just pull that shit off of another stripper, land on a pole, start spinning around that.
Oh man.
I want to see that actually. We gotta make this happen.
Yeah, 777 Studios, make it happen and
Yeah.
send us a video.
We'll be in touch. We'll be in
We'll
touch.
be-
We'll figure it out.
All right, well, that is the end of our episode for today. Thank you for listening to Los Wise Guys podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to follow us on social media. Like, subscribe, share, rate, review, and go check out our social medias. Thank you for listening, and have a great week.